know on that last run that Shane had concerns about the right rear tire. Was that a legitimate concern for you guys? I mean, how much was that going through your mind as he was building up, that 17-second lead?
Yeah, I wasn't super concerned about it. I knew how it was playing out. We just needed to manage what we had. I knew those guys were going to pit and have a huge gap behind. And he did a good job just taking care of it, getting it to the end, and still had a pretty big cushion.
5 wins for Shane, 6 total for the organization on the year. Just what can you speak to that testament as just overall success that you've had in 2025?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of interesting to look at our year because, in many ways, there's a lot of things that we felt like we really need to do a lot better with this race team. And I was just talking about, just getting more week in and week out speed, unloading with more speed on sort of every 7 days. And that's been a theme inside the building is that we have to get better. We have to understand these cars better. We have to unload better on Saturdays and qualify better and all of that. So you kind of take the fact that, we feel like we're missing something and we have to learn and grow and get better with the fact that this is the winningest season in the history of the company. And a lot of that has to do with this incredible 88 team and just how they, Shane's a world-class race car driver, but it's not just Shane, it takes everybody. And, from the guys that are building suspension and brakes and putting these cars together in the shop to Stephen's group that comes out here and executes on the race weekend, it's a very, very high level of professional execution. And, that's really what we try to do is make the most of every opportunity that we've got. And we did that a number of times this year, which is something that, everybody in the company is just incredibly proud of.
Yeah, amazing day. Car was just unbelievable. Yeah, I think we did a pretty good job making some tweaks from yesterday. And first 2 stages, it was, pretty nice balance and able to make some gaps. And then started that 3rd stage, Kyle and Christopher were really good. And I lost the lead, lost control of the race, and just couldn't match them really. They were a bit better than me. And then whatever we did or whatever Stephen did at the pit stop, car just came alive. And yeah, the last 2 stints were just magic. Just ran them down and able to pass them and had some really good battles, pretty aggressive, but a lot of fun.
I asked Justin about kind of like benchmarks for you after Richmond, New Hampshire, last week at Kansas, and he said it's not a benchmark situation anymore. It's more of just he believes she'll be very dangerous as long as you keep immersing yourself with Stephen, with film study, all that different stuff. So where does that process go from here heading towards the end of the season and into the off season?
Yeah, I think it's still just time. I feel like every race weekend I'm learning something, even on a road course, but these next 3 weeks are such a contrast of track. Like all 3 tracks are very different from each other. So that's the hard part where you got to transition from the 1.5 miles to the short track or super speedway. It's going to be a pretty crazy finish to the year. And but yeah, I need to be better at all disciplines of what NASCAR Cup racing is. That'll help us do better in the playoffs next year. And yeah, I really think we are getting a lot better, but we needed to execute, and we didn't in the playoffs. But yeah, I think my learning curve is still pretty steep, and I feel like as a driver I'm getting more comfortable and understanding the car dynamics, the setup every week, and yeah, I feel like I'm always learning. So yeah, as long as that doesn't stop, I'll keep getting better.
Also, a lot of times when we all post these stories online here, there, and everywhere, we get a lot of comments and remarks from your fans around the world, fans down in New Zealand and Australia. Do you pay attention to any of that in your perusal of social media or the internet, and what do you think about all of that?
Yeah, of course. It's amazing, the support. As I say, like how much people follow me over here and watch every Monday it is there, and it's amazing the comments and support I get, and even when I've had a bad weekend, the messages are pretty cool. And yeah, I love how much people are following NASCAR now, and also it's all kinds of disciplines around the world in motorsport. The Kiwis seem to support anyone who goes overseas. So yeah, hopefully I'm doing a good job representing the country, and it's amazing how many people in the stands and go to the merch signings that are from Australia and New Zealand come in to watch the races. So pretty cool to have them here.
Shane, as you were talking about the different tracks that are coming up and gaining ground, what track do you feel like style-wise that you are gaining ground on?
I think all tracks are difficult, like Vegas next week, going there and having to hold it wide open at 320 and 190 probably, whatever miles that is. It's a crazy feeling and something I'm not comfortable with. Like, it's so fast when you hook into those corners there, and And then when you do it in the race around other cars, it's just, that's where I'm learning, trying to get comfortable, know where to place the car in the air, and try and understand what's happening. So it's just taking time. And Martinsville short tracks, they're getting better for me, and finally starting to get results at them too. And Martinsville, I think I did a decent result last year, and hopefully we just build on that. We had a bit of a shocker at the start of the year with wheels falling off, literally. So hopefully we can be better.